Welcome, everybody. We got our first live recording. Many of you guys have requested to have us recorded, so we want to show you our faces. So we got Isaac to the left, and we got Benny right over there. Isaac, do you have any shout-outs?
Shout out to Ray for the Dallas jersey, the Rays for the Dallas jersey. Yeet.
Looks kind of bland.
Anyway, shout out to the Rays, shout out to the homie Lalo, shout out to everyone listening, and yeah, go Dallas.
First of all, we want to give a shout out to Johnny. He couldn't make it tonight. He's in Vegas right now. So, bro, hopefully we can see you next week.
Hopefully you want some money, bro. Shit.
Shall we get right into it, fellas?
I mean, I'm down. What the fuck are we going to talk about?
I've been waiting for this ever since the Mavs won their series.
So the Mavs
Speak your
and
shit.
Celtics. Isaac, the Mavs fan. We got Benny, the Celtics fan. We got two different perspectives. So we're going to start with the opposing team, Dallas Mavericks. Isaac, what's your preview? What do you think Dallas is going to do this series?
Well, despite a hobbled Luka and everyone counting us out since the Clippers series, we've been able to find ways to win, use our bigs to really clog up the paint and stop the attacking the rim. We've had a Luka go off, Kyrie go off. We've had some bench players step up like PJ Washington, Derek Lively. We've had some good coaching from Jason Kidd, surprisingly. And I know Benny's laughing over here because he's being overconfident. But I think it'll be a 7-game series.
Bench?
It'll be a good one. But I got Dallas in 7 games winning the championship. Dallas in 7.
You know, you mentioned a key X factor for the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs, and that is PJ Washington. He's been hitting those threes. He was struggling in this series against the Wolves, but I mean he stepped up when the moment called for it. He was hitting those threes. So you know, PJ Washington, also Daniel Gafford being that rim protector that the Mavs desperately needed. You know, this Mavs team, I'm telling you, this team looks pretty decent, but I'm gonna give the Celtics fan over there the opportunity to tell me why he thinks the Celtics is going to win.
Experience matters. I really don't care what anybody has to say right now. They want to put the Mavs over the Celtics. I've been watching BR. People are voting for the Mavs to beat the Celtics, and I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm saying this right now and right now only. Nobody on that Mavericks team outside Derek Jones Jr., maybe PJ Washington, can guard Tatum or Brown. They are going to destroy the guards, which are Luka and Kyrie, because they cannot defend to save their life. They can't even guard a damn traffic cone. Kyrie can't guard a traffic cone. And the big situation, I'm just saying this right now. KP, when he comes back, I think he's going to be important, because when he's back on that floor, I'm going to call for what it is. You saw what happened in the regular season. Mavs got smacked up by 28 and almost in 10 and was it 19, 20, 15, whatever. They got smacked up. And this is with the acquisitions. They lost by almost 28, I think 18 or 28 points. They got smacked up. So when KP comes back, man, I don't think the Mavs are going to make it a series. I will say that. I'm not discrediting their hard work they've done. But who's guarding Tatum? Who's guarding Brown? You got 4 players on that team who can light you up.
Riddle me this. Who on that Celtics team is going to guard Luka Doncic?
You got Brown's physicality and you got Tatum's length. Bro, Isaac? What you staring at me like that for, bro? What are you talking about?
I'll let you speak, but I'll hold my word until you're done.
Do you not see Jaylen Brown's physicality? I'm just gonna say it for what it is. Luka's gonna get his. I'm just gonna call for what it is. Luka gonna get his, but JB gonna make him work for it. I'm just gonna say it like that.
And I'm gonna tell you,
I'm just saying. Well, Tatum got the length to disrupt Luka's shot. But I'm just saying, Luka gonna get his. I'm not saying that Luka Doncic is gonna be clamped up. I'm not saying that, because he gonna get his 35, he gonna get his 40 points, whatever. But if you take Luka out and Kyrie ain't having a good game, who on that Mavs team is gonna step up?
Let me riddle you this.
Well, answer the question.
Who on that Celtics team is gonna guard Luka Doncic? Because you said Jaylen Brown. First of all, let me finish my point. Jaylen Brown is a 6'6" defender. Luka Doncic makes those defenders look like rag dolls. Just being real. He's going to eat up Jaylen Brown because of his size. You put Drew Holiday out on the post against Luka Doncic. Drew Holiday is going to look like a rag doll against Luka Doncic. He's gonna
All
look like a
defense.
ragdoll against Luka Doncic. Okay, you put Tatum on Luka. Luka is still gonna eat up that matchup. Luka, in my opinion, is the most unguardable player in this league. No one on this other than Giannis, other than Jokic, ain't nobody on that Celtics team is gonna guard Luka. Nobody. Not even Derek White. No one.
What did I just say like 5 seconds ago?
I don't care
I
if you're on
said
Team
Luka
D.
gonna get his shots. What did I say? Luka gonna get his stuff. But I'm telling you, JB and JT are gonna be pretty much your best defenders guarding him. And I don't know why you giving me that look. The Lakers couldn't even do anything about him in their regular season series. And what are the Lakers in Cancun?
First of all, we ain't talking about the Lakers. We're
I'm just
talking
saying.
about the Celtics. But the reality of the situation is, Isaac, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but nobody on this team, on that Celtics team, can guard Luka.
You know what's funny? The Celtics head coach said the other day, we can't stop Luka.
What did I just say earlier?
You really think you should say that to a player like Luka, who is a psycho on the basketball floor?
What did I just say? Okay.
You act as if the physicality is going to bother Luka. Do you not realize who he had to face? Unlike your Disneyland Fast Pass over there on the east side, he had to face Lou Dort. He had to face Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards.
You're saying
you guys?
JB's not physical enough. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's not physical enough.
All I'm saying is this: JB does not have enough in his back pocket to guard Luka Doncic.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I mean, JB is physical, but come on, compared to Lou Dort, Lou Dort's a better defender. You really think JB's going to do anything? He is going to do something, but he's not. Luka, he's been through hell and back. He's battling through injuries, but JB's not that level of defender like Lou Dort. So length don't bother Luka.
And you know what?
Are we done?
I'm agree with you, Benny, on the fact that on the Celtics team, you know, if you put Derrick Jones Jr., I think, you know, Tatum and Brown, they're gonna eat that. Okay, I'm being real. They're gonna eat that matchup. But in terms of like who's gonna guard Luka Doncic on the Celtics,
You know what?
he's still gonna get his. But the reality of the situation is nobody's gonna stop him.
Well,
Nobody.
Put it like this. At the end of the day, like I said earlier, Luka gonna get his buckets. He gonna get his buckets. I just said that. At the same time, you gotta throw different matchups at him, and he may eat them. It's probably gonna happen. I'm not saying he won't do anything, but I'm just gonna call it like this. We've been glossing over this too. Luka been banged up, and I give him credit. He playing his ass off, bro. He playing his ass off. But everybody talking about how the Celtics got a fast pass, quote unquote. Isaac, I don't want to hear anything right now. I don't want to hear nothing from any of you guys. I'm tired of hearing the fast pass. Well, that's another subject. I'm just saying, Luka already hobbled. Luckily he played through his damn injuries. I'm giving him credit where credit is due. But I'm sorry, the Wolves are not the Celtics. Wolves are not the Celtics. Wolves are not on the Celtics level. Celtics are better than the Wolves.
I'm gonna transition.
Man,
we're gonna transition there,
where
man.
we transition
Because
to?
all we're talking about, I feel like we're just spinning around in circles.
No, we're not. We're just stating
let's
facts.
move.
Hold
Let's
up.
move on. Let's move.
Hold up, man.
Can I say something really quick? I know you mentioned Porzingis, but here's the thing. He's coming off an injury.
That was my next
He's coming off an injury, and he's going to be on a minutes restriction.
Oh, I know that.
So here's the thing. I'd rather live with KP shooting threes. I'd rather guard everyone else because I will take KP shooting threes because he's going to be rusty, and he doesn't handle physicality well against Lively and Gafford.
Let me ask you this. Can your big stretch the floor? Can Dallas's big stretch the floor? Answer my question. Can Dallas's big stretch the floor?
No, I'm not.
No, they can't. Okay, so so you're telling me you got the five out there. Doncic, Irving, Jones Jr., Gafford, and Lively. And don't get me wrong, that's a good ass five. But I'm just calling it right now. You pull those bigs out from the floor. Oh, so it's got a full blown. They got a clear runway. I'm calling it right now. Porzingis, I know he's not going to come back at 100%, but he still is a matchup nightmare. I'm just saying it for what it is. Man.
But you guys generally generate your offense from three. What's going to happen when the threes don't fall?
You've seen it in the last few games against Indiana,
who have no defense.
Okay, and does Dallas have defense?
Yes, we do.
I think Dallas is a much improved defense. I mean, I think they're an improved defensive team.
I'm not saying we're top 10 defense,
but they're an
we
improved
have
defensive team.
Interior defense,
Yeah.
unlike the cupcakes they faced over there in the East.
This guy really said Dallas has good defense. What defense? Bro, you went up against the Wolves. Bro, you went up against the Wolves. Bro, first of all, you had a 7-footer at the center position who couldn't even move his damn feet. Defensive player of the year couldn't even move his damn feet.
Oh.
And you telling me?
And the Celtics went up against in the Indiana Pacers.
Okay.
Who is a worse defensive team.
Let's be honest. Let's address the elephant in the room.
Man,
the
bro.
Pacers should have been up 3-1 if the Celtics hadn't made those late comebacks.
We ain't talking
The reality of the situation.
You know what?
Yeah, you know what? It's right. But you know what? We're going to go. We don't want to go spin around in circles. Who do you guys think has the most pressure to perform in this finals?
His team over there.
Okay. Isaac, why do you think the Celtics need to perform?
They've been in the past 6 out of the 7 conference finals. Is there a ring? No. Were we supposed to be here? No. So, in my opinion, we're playing with house money. All the pressure is on you guys and that certain number that you're wearing on your jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I will agree. There is a lot of pressure to perform. Look, like, everybody's going to talk about how the Celtics got easy path, whatever. Hey, look, at the end of the day, you got teams who are injured. You play what's in front of you. Unfortunately, they were hurt. What are you going to do? You can't control injuries. I'm just saying it. Had the Knicks been a little bit healthy, it would have been a whole nother ball game. Had the Heat been a little bit healthy, it'd been another ball game. Now, I'm still saying the Celtics will still pull out those series against those different teams. But I'm just saying for what it is. Like, the Celtics, they've been to the finals 2 of the past 3 years. There's no excuse this year. Absolutely no excuse. And against a Dallas team, no disrespect, but Dallas? I was expecting Denver or Minnesota. I did not expect Dallas. So if you're a Celtic fan like myself, in an ideal world, you'd want Dallas. Yes, you're going to see the effects of Doncic and Irving, the top high-scoring backcourt in the league in the fucking playoffs at almost 52 points a game. Yeah, we're going to see that. But at the end of the day, I would take that than the Wolves' length. Because guess what? Dallas don't got no defense, and it's just going to be a runway, a clear runway. You got Drew Holiday, you got Derek White, you got Porzingis, Brown, and Tatum. I'm just saying for what it is, it's going to be a good series. It's going to be a good series. It's definitely going to be much more different.
All I'm saying is with the pressure to perform, Isaac brought up a great point about the Celtics being in the finals for the past 6 years. What concerns me about the Celtics is for the past 3 years. What concerns me about the Celtics is this. Yes, you have the experience to make it, but do you have the mental willpower to power through it? In my opinion, I mean, I'm going off what I've seen the last couple years against Golden State. They flamed out. Last year
was their first year in the final. What do you expect?
Year against the Heat, they flamed out. And so if you're asking me, in my opinion, the Mavericks have that experience. They have Kyrie Irving, who's been to the finals before.
Drew Holiday's been to the finals too.
Hit a game-winning shot. Hit a game-winning shot to beat the 73-9 Golden State Warriors team. Okay? So Kyrie lives for these moments. So if you ask me who's got the most pressure to perform, I'm going to have to say it's going to have to be the Boston Celtics, because you guys have no excuse. You came out the East, you were the favorite. So if Boston doesn't come out and win, it's gonna be, well, Boston had an easy path and they faced the Dallas Mavericks, and the Dallas Mavericks were just too damn good. That's what the headline's gonna be. And if the Boston Celtics win, it's gonna be, the Boston Celtics deserved it because they were the better team. That's the reality. But with me, I just take the Dallas Mavericks. I just really like them. I really do.
You brought up a good point. Mentality. You know who has that Mamba mentality? Sorry, I'm kind of feeding into that. Luka Doncic. Who does Jason Tatum have it? When has he shown it? Tell me. Give me an example.
What are we talking about?
Game winners.
Game winners?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Game winners, bro? We talking about performances, bro.
I think what Isaac is saying is just JT doesn't have that it. He doesn't have that it.
I'm not saying. Look, I ain't gonna disagree about nothing. Like JT, he doesn't have that it. I'm waiting for him to have that it. Because I'm gonna be 100% honest. Jaylen Brown been carrying the Celtics his whole playoffs. Let's be real. Can we be transparent? I think
100% agree.
I think Jaylen Brown looking like the better Celtic, but at the end of the day, you still can't discount what JT gonna bring to the table. He's been to the finals before. He knows what it takes. Now it's a matter of getting over that hump. Both of them have it. Drew Holiday, he's won a title in Milwaukee. Al Horford, playoff tested. All those players are playoff tested. You know, they know what it takes to get to the finals. It ain't going to be an easy road. Who said it was going to be easy? It's 12-2, but like, damn, like there are so many comments earlier that were talking about like how the Celtics they suck in the late game situations. A lot of that. But they showed up against Indiana. Granted, they should never have been down to Indiana in the first place, but they still showed up. And it's still getting backlash. So yes, I do agree that the performance is going to heavily rely on JT, but Jaylen Brown's also got to show up, because if Jaylen Brown don't show up, it's a whole nother ball game, team.
I don't think JT has the it. He doesn't have it.
Yeah, I honestly don't think. I think
JB has that it.
If he had it last year, he wouldn't have let the ankle bother him. Honestly,
no,
if they were playing in the Heat, because Luka's playing through knee sprain, back injury, neck injury. His knees are literally bleeding in the game. Literally bleeding in the game. Tell me that is not mentality that you have to fight through that pain. And he's getting rest. He's getting rest. That's a dangerous Luka Doncic right there.
I agree. I mean, I'm not discounting what Luka Doncic has done.
I think the Celtics, who has that it on the Celtics, is Jaylen Brown. Bennie's, you're right. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Jaylen Brown been really carrying that Celtics team.
Well, you see the dog that he plays with.
He does. But Jason Tatum, that's his team. You, the superstar of that team, you need to show up. Jason Tatum, he hasn't shown up. I'm being honest. I haven't seen him in the playoffs. I haven't. Yeah, he's had some great scoring games, but on what? 5 of 22 shooting, 21 points. That's not gonna get it done in the finals. Luka Doncic out there dropping triple doubles. Kyrie Irving, he struggled too, but Kyrie, when you need him, he's gonna show up.
Another key factor is, has Jaylen Brown learned to work with his left?
What? Everybody's got that.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, he's worked on his left, bro. He's worked on his left.
They kind of like exposed that a few years.
He's worked on his left.
But is it better?
It's definitely a lot better. Have you not seen the games? All right, man. All right, man. Keep that. Look, I'm going to say this. Here's what I will say. If we are also talking about X factors, it's going to be heavily dependent. Like I said, Doncic's going to show up. Kyrie's got to show up, right? We know that. But it's also going to be the two-way play of Brown and Tatum that are going to be important. Brown's defense and Tatum's defense. Look, if Tatum's not getting it at offensively, he's got to step up defensively. That's just the fact of the matter. Jaylen Brown, he could probably pop off for 40. That's Batman and Robin. Same thing, Luka and Kyrie, Batman and Robin. When one's off, the other's going. If they're both off, Dallas ain't got nothing.
Bobby, if you were to take one of our benches, who do you think has the superior advantage?
You know, Isaac, that was actually a great segue into my next point. You know, the X factor in the series, in the finals, is going to be the benches. The benches are going to have to show up in this series.
I will be transparent. Both Dallas and Boston's bench has been mediocre. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. Because, like, you know, Dallas, Dante Exum, Tim Hardaway Jr., if he's doing fine, Josh Green, you know, when he's shooting the three ball, Maxi Kleber, I will say that. On the Celtics bench, you got Payne Pritchard, Sam Hauser, and Horford shifts back to the bench. That's your main 8. Maybe you get a 9 with Xavier Tillman, whatever, the whole case. But I'm just saying, talent-wise, Dallas has a little bit of the edge. But in terms of consistency and play, you gotta look at what Boston's been doing consistently. You know what I mean? You're gonna get Payne Pritchard who's gonna put up threes at every game. You know what I mean? He's a good shooting guard for only being. He's a good shooting guard for being only 6'1". He can shoot the lights out the ball. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like both benches, it's gonna be heavily dependent on if the benches can perform. You know what I mean? That's just the bottom. That's just the bottom line of the story.
I'm taking my bench only because I've seen Jaden Hardy actually impress these past few games, coming off the bench, scoring in double digits or about like 9 points. Like, thank God we're not. I don't hate Tim Hardaway Jr., but he just takes a lot of bad shots, and like his defensive effort isn't always there. Hardy's is there, even though he hasn't played like most of the season.
You know, Isaac, you brought up another great point in Tim Hardaway Jr. You know, it's only going to take Tim Hardaway Jr. one game for Tim Hardaway Jr. to pop off for 25 points. He is fully capable of that. So for me, that X factor in this series, Tim Hardaway Jr. Because in my opinion, Tim Hardaway Jr. between both benches is the best player on that bench. On both benches, he's the best player.
But
if he's consistent, if Tim Hardaway Jr. can hit 2, 3, 4, 5 threes, get a couple layups, if Tim Hardaway Jr. just pops off for 15, 20 a game, that just might be the X factor for the series.
But I think we're also forgetting one thing. I mean, we've glossed all over offense, but what about defense? Defense wins championships. At the end of the day, who's the better defensive team? Boston's defensive team is going to be important. The defensive mentality is going to be important because defense is what brought them into and helped them win games. Let's keep it real. If the defense shows up, I'm telling you, Dallas is going to have a hell of a fucking series. It's going to be a hard one. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Defense wins championship, but you got to give credit to good offense because you can't stop good offense. And Luka is just going to be Luka. And, as a Celtics fan, and every Celtics player knows, even the Celtics know, it's not going to be easy, man. But defense.
Weren't the Timberwolves the number 1 rated defense?
They were, and Luka Doncic just shredded them up.
What about the maturity aspect from both teams? You take the Wolves versus Celtics. Who's more mature?
Obviously, the Celtics.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, then why was everyone crowning the Timberwolves this superpower team that and
they were overhyped. They were overhyped.
And I got this for you. You could have the physical aspect of the game, but what's the most important part of the game?
Mentality.
The mental aspect. Who's got the mental edge in this series? That's just me.
Everybody's got their own opinion.
That's just me.
Everybody's got their own opinion.
Luka Doncic, Isaac, you mentioned he's playing through pain, knee sprains, ankle sprains. You don't see him sitting out. No, he's playing through it. He's got that it. Celtics, JB's got that it. He's the only one that, in my opinion, has got that it. He's got that dog killer mindset. I don't see that from JT. He's not. I'm not trying to be this Celtic hater. I'm not. All I'm saying, I'm calling it for what it is. He just doesn't have that. But also,
too, I can see where people coming out without him not having that it. He's not more of that trash talker. He's more of that, he's going to let his game show. You know what I mean? He's going to play his game, and he's going to let his game speak for himself. So I can see where he doesn't have that it, but I do agree. But I think that he needs to have a little bit, offer more.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, he's a superstar player. But you need to show up when your team needs you. And when the lights are bright, you can't just disappear.
He's been showing up.
3 of 19 shooting on 22 points. That's showing up.
What game are we talking about?
It was a game in the Boston. It was a game against the Pacers, wasn't it?
Yeah. One of the games.
One of those games. You got to have that it. That's all I'm saying. Be consistent about it and show up.
What's your game plan to guard us? I'm just curious. What would you do if you were Joe Mazzulla?
Well, I mean, look at it like this. Like I said, Luka Doncic, at the end of the day, he's gonna get his. Can we both all agree? Yes. He's gonna get his points. Kyrie Irving, honestly, look, and this is just how I would play it. Kyrie Irving, both of them are superstars. Doncic, I give the edge to. At the end of the day, Kyrie, he's gonna have his off nights. Because let's be real, Kyrie has had some bad games. Let's call it real. Doncic has to basically carry the team, right? Can we just be real about that? Doncic has to show up. At the end of the day, you got to throw different matchups at him. You have to. You have to start with the physicality aspect. You know what I mean? Because Doncic, he's big, he's physical, and he's going to get his. At the end of the day, Brown's going to have to hold his own. He's not going to have to bite on the fakes because if you get Jaylen Brown biting on fakes with 2 fouls early in the first quarter, you're screwed. Because now you can throw Tatum at him. You can throw Tatum at him because Tatum's got the length to disrupt his shot. But also, too, the switchability of Boston. Drew Holiday's, he's big and physical for a guard, but I mean, in terms of competing with Doncic, it's gonna be. I'm not saying it's not gonna be a walk in the park, but Drew Holiday's gonna have to hold his own. Derek White's been proven he's top shot blocking guard in the league. I mean, you gotta give credit where credit is due. Boston has 5 different players who can guard Doncic.
Isaac, how would you guard the Celtics?
Let them live with their threes. I'll let KP shoot threes. Just don't let JB and JT get going. I will live with KP shooting 10 threes, but as long as we don't get JT and JB going, I'm good with that.
Also, you can forget about Drew Holiday and Derek White.
So I'm gonna break down both teams. Okay, so in order for the Boston Celtics to win, they're gonna have to punish the Dallas Mavericks behind the 3-point line. That's gonna be the key because Benny, you mentioned a good point. Dallas, they're bigs. They're not 3-point shooters. So you could pull them out the court. You could pull them out, And all you need is Al Horford, Sam Hauser. You need JT. They just shoot the threes. That's all you need.
Wouldn't be surprised to see some small ball.
Yeah, small ball. You put JT at the 5. Pull Gafford out the paint. And now you got parting of the Red Seas. With the Dallas Mavericks, how they're going to beat the Boston Celtics? Fast break. Out on the fast break.
You got to get on the break.
Because Boston, they're not a team that likes to get out on the fast break too much. Dallas, Kyrie Irving. He likes to get out on the fast break and get those layups. So with Dallas, they're going to have to get out on the break. Rebound, get out and run. Boston, punish them with their size and hit those 3 balls. And I think the Celtics might win. And if Dallas gets out on the break and gets those easy layups and hits their 3s and those role players show up, I'm taking Dallas.
I also think it's, and alluding to that, it's going to be the battle of the bigs also too. Like we're forgetting about that, the battle of the bigs, because yes, Horford and Gafford and Lively, those two are lethal lob. Those are 2 lob threats. You just call for what it is. So you really got to take Luka out of his element. You know what I mean? You almost got to dare him to score all the points on Dallas.
I mean, you guys are obviously the better offensive bigs, but I feel we're the better defensive bigs. As much as
I agree.
No, it's the truth.
Porzingis isn't physical. Gafford will get physical. Lively will get physical.
I mean, Porzingis just has the length, but yes, I do agree with that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we would have to tire him out. And he's coming off an injury, so he's going to be rusty. So I'm pretty sure we're going to try and expose that right away.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if you're Boston, you're going to want to expose Dallas, and you want to, like I said, spread the floor. You get a 5-man. You could play JT at the 5, JB at the 4, whatever. You got 2 guards, Derek White, Drew Holiday. Maybe you even throw Payne Pritchard out there, whatever. At the end of the day, maybe Sam Hauser or O'Shea Brissett, whatever. I'm just throwing names. But at the end of the day, you space out the floor on Dallas. I'm telling you, Dallas does not have the wings to guard Tatum or Brown because they're too long, they're too strong, and they'll score. Doncic is going to get his. Kyrie is going to get his. But at the end of the day, you're going to take your chances with Doncic putting up 20, 30 shots, and you dare him to beat you and not let anybody else, not let Kyrie go off.
Let's just be honest. All 3 of us can agree that this series is not going to end in a sweep for either team. It's going to be a chess match.
It's going to be a 6-game series.
So I broke down the offensive side, how the Celtics and Dallas is going to win. Now I'm going to break down the defensive side. So for the Celtics, they know that Luka Doncic likes to throw those lobs to Lively and Gafford. If you're the Celtics, you got to take away those easy rim points.
You make Doncic a scorer. That's it.
You got to make
bottom line.
Yeah, you got to take away those lobs. For Dallas, they're going to need to defend the 3-point line. They got to defend that perimeter because once Boston gets hot, that's just game over. That's game over. So, I think, this series is going to be a really, really good series. It's going to be chess matches, and I'm excited to see who's going to win.
Let's just run it down. It's pretty much offense versus defense. One team is more defensive. One team is more offensive.
Who can play both sides of the floor at the end of the day.
Yeah, and we both have our weaknesses. We have to admit that, but
call for what it is.
Yeah,
right?
The pressure is mostly on you guys. We're kind of playing with house money, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, no one expected Dallas to be in it, but if you're the Celtics, you guys show up. You guys show up. There's absolutely no excuse why you don't beat the Dallas Mavericks and win banner number 18 and bring it back home. Just saying it. I'm just saying it right now.
By the way, I took a screenshot of that. So if, you guys kind of mess up, I could just bring it back in your face a little.
I'm not talking shit, man. I'm just going to bite my tongue.
Are you sure about that? You posted that on your Instagram not even like a few days after we won.
I just said banner number 18. I never said anything else, bro. I never said anything else.
Remember that, please.
I'm just saying.
That.
Banner number 18. I'm just saying.
Remember
banner number
that.
18.
And if he's bitching like a little baby, I'm gonna remember you put this on this specific day, even before the final started.
I know Johnny has got Dallas winning it. I mean, sorry, Johnny, if you're listening to this, I respectfully disagree.
How about we start? We don't jump to. How about let's start with just game one predictions.
So before we get to the game 1 predictions, I wrote down the advantages of both teams. Okay, so with the Celtics, obviously they got their size. They got their size, and they got bigs who can stretch the floor, and they could defend. Okay. Dallas is quick. Kyrie Irving, lob threats, Gafford, so those bigs are special on both sides of the court. So in my opinion, before I give you my opinion, what do you guys think? The Celtics have size. They could defend. They could shoot the three. They're well equipped. They can guard the perimeter. Dallas, they're quick. They can get out on the fast break. Boston isn't as fast as Dallas. Both bigs can defend, okay? Both bigs can defend at a higher level. Just brought up a point, rebounding.
I think we win the rebounding battle because who's your backup big after Porzingis? Not trying to
Horford. But I'm saying Tatum's been playing a lot of four. Tatum's been rebounding the ball a lot. And he rebounded the ball a lot in the last series against Indiana. So
who has he been rebounding against?
Miles Turner. Yeah, Miles. You gotta give credit with Miles Turner, man. He's a good offense. He's a good defensive big. Rebounding, but only when his head's in the game. He reminds me. Yeah. Anyway, we don't want to go down with Miles Turner.
I think
who's got the advantage?
I think it's gonna it could be either one of our teams, but I think it's gonna come down to execution and coaching style.
Technically it's all about execution. It's like you talked about, Bobby. Game 1, it's just a feel out game. It's always a feel out. You know what I mean? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? And you know what I mean? Because you're just seeing what the team has. Granted, it's the finals, so you don't have any excuses. Whoever loses game 1, you have 3 games to figure it out. And you better win those 3 because if you don't, guess what? The other team going to be the winner. Just saying.
Game 1 predictions. Isaac, go.
I got us taking the first road game, actually. I like the momentum we built off of Minnesota. I think we're going to feel good. Doncic is going to be rested. The rest is kind of going to hurt them a little bit. Porzingis is going to be rusty. I think we're going to take game 1.
Benny?
Look. I'm just saying, Celtics have had plenty of time to rest. I completely disagree with you, Isaac. Respectfully, wholeheartedly disagree. I'm taking Boston winning game 1, right? But Boston's going to win by at least 10 or more.
Okay.
All right. You got to stop with that disrespect right there. You sound like just the media.
I'm just going to bite my tongue. I ain't going to say nothing more, Isaac. You heard what I said, bro.
Remember that. He said
you heard what digits. I said 10 or more, bro.
Double digits.
Did we forget about this may be Kyrie's revenge tour?
And Porzingis' revenge.
There's a lot of
storylines that we can talk about in the next episode, but let's just agree this is going to be a good NBA Finals, and it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be better than last year's.
I'm taking Dallas stealing game 1. Anyways, thank you all for listening to our episode. First recording. Hope y'all loved it. Follow us. Dummies on the Hardwood. Please follow us. Subscribe. You guys got anything else y'all want to say?
Just comment. I know this is our first video. Might come out like a little bit rusty, but yeah, just like the Dallas Mavericks, don't count us out.
And damn it, Celtics taking game 1, team. Mic drop.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.